coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. And birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. The front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Good morning, good morning. I hope everyone is having a good morning today. I am on my game today, but I won't lie, my tinnitus is kicking. It is kicking this morning. Setting things up, all I had was the ringing in my ears. But already it's a good morning. Yesterday, I had over 100,000 impressions on X. And already this morning, I have 100,000 impressions on X. So my focus on boosting that up has been really working so far. And we got people watching on X already this morning. Let's see. We got Tammy in here this morning. We got Joan. We got Paul. Good morning, you guys. Let's see who else we got. I got AVA in here this morning. All right. We got a nice little crew. Here, let me pull it up. The change.org position is doing really well. Karen's Books and Beverly, both of you, good morning. Yeah, we are here. Let me share this. This is doing so well this morning. We are at almost 800 signatures. So we're going to make the 1,000. We are going to get 1,000 signatures for sure. I am convinced of it. Here, let me copy the link. I'll post it there. And I'll pin it to today's thing. Now, I will be going longer today than what I normally do, because I'm not going into the office right away. I've got people who are coming here to install mini splits for me. So I will be here a little bit longer than what I normally am. So you guys get a bonus little bit of bonus show. So that'll be good. Tim Walters, good morning. Yeah, let's see. Uh, let's see who's all in here. Yep. Oh, we got two Jones, Joan Hageman and Joan Walton. Um, I do want to read this. I'm not going to play the voice message, but it's it converts when people leave me a messages. It converts it to um, text. So I want to read this. Uh, Hi, I called you not long ago. It's been about a year ago. Now, some of this is I'll have trouble reading because it does voice to text, so that's not always accurate. So I'm going to try to figure out what they're saying without playing it. I had some questions about and talk to you about uh, online on YouTube, your YouTube channel. I had some questions about my dad about his VA status. It occurred to me to have him apply for his benefits. He's 90 years old. He's got a lot of hearing loss, so he suffered from the military. It took about 6 months to convince him to go ahead and apply. Once he once he did, a little bit later, he fell and broke his leg. Hey, good morning, Big Dirt. Right, AVA. Uh, he fell and broke his leg because I had the application and process started with him. I was helping him with everything on it, and once we got that application, excuse me, we found out later that they were going to put him into a nursing home. So we were afraid that we were going to have to sell his house and my mom would have to find somewhere else to live. Now we don't have to worry about that. Thank you so much for encouraging me to continue with it. I can't tell you enough how grateful I am to you. So just wanted to go and let you know. I know you hear people giving you a lot of grief about different things and you never hear about the good stories. So I wanted to let you know what you did. Thank you. So I got that message yesterday and very happy to hear. Good morning, Shinemesis. Very happy to hear that your dad has his VA claim and has that extra income, and now they won't have to worry about where they're going to live, and that is what we try to do here. We are here to help and entertain military veterans and their families, and it looks like we helped in that case. So I'm very happy to hear that, and keep he should be 100%. And if they're not, to that viewer, if he's not 100%, keep fighting and feel free to reach out to me. uh, that was one thing I was getting criticized about by the Spawny, was that I'm not a VSO, a veteran service officer. uh, yeah, there's very good reasons why I'm not a VSO. um, as a VSO, there are things I would be forced to do, whereas not being a VSO, I can give people these little tips and tricks. I don't have to follow, any rules that the VA or other organizations place upon me. So I can give very frank discussions to veterans and their family about how they can get their claims met. So if I were a VSO, I would not be able to do that. So, for if anyone is listening to the idiot and wants to know why, that's why, because I can do more good doing it the way that I'm currently doing it. Also, being a VSO is essentially a job, and trust me, I've got enough on my plate. But if anyone's making claims and they want to give me a call, and we'll go through what claims they've made, what claims they haven't made. I'll give advice as to here's what I've seen work. And there are people who are big fans of this show, who have said, wow, you actually really helped me, all the things I said. Because there are some VSOs out there that'll be like, no, we're not going to do this, or no, we're not going to do this. And most veterans just don't know. They just don't know. I've been through it. all VSO are dick lickers. I've met some good VSOs. There are some bad ones. What I've always told people is go talk to other veterans about who's the good VSOs. Some are great. Some are absolutely great. Some suck. I had one who was good, but he was helping too many veterans. So we would sit down, go over my stuff, but it would take 2 months for it to get submitted. And that's 2 months that I'm not getting benefits. So even though they backdate the benefits, what happens if I pass away? Yeah, my family gets money and stuff, but it doesn't help. And that's the problem. That's why the backlog of VA claims is such a problem. I'm glad that Trump is back in office because Trump had he had 500,000 backlog in his when he started his last administration, and they got that down to almost zero. Now that grew to about 200,000, and they're working on taking that backlog down again. So very happy that Trump is in office because see, in that last one, he helped with that backlog, and that's when I was applying. And my first claim was in 2016, and it took 2 years for it to be adjudicated. 2 years. That's ridiculous. Uh, but the fact that you need a VSO to write things up a certain way so that it gets approved is absolutely ridiculous in its own right. And there you go. So yeah, I will not be a VSO anytime soon. That would I would help less people if I was. Now I will happily have any VSO on, and I will ask them a million questions because there are things that they do have more knowledge than me on. There are things that I've been learning. I'm in contact with a veteran right now. He's having his care stopped because he cussed. Really, VA staff can't handle a foul mouth veteran, so he's flagged now and can't get his care. And we had a little bit of discussion about that yesterday, AVA. Get that to me, get that to TC. We want to highlight stuff like that. And I've got no problem calling Congress people. I've got no problem calling the VA. When the VA, there's always, at a lot of these government organizations, there's always a media coordinator. When they start getting questions from someone in the media saying, hey, I'm calling about this individual, they take notice. They do take notice. Um, in fact, as you probably have noticed, they're dealing with you a little bit differently, AVA, and that's what's bullshit about it. Is that it takes people like myself and TC and you, AVA, of getting involved for us to actually get help. That is complete and total bullshit. So, well, we got a nice little group. I got people on X, got people on YouTube, little like a 50-50 match, so that's awesome. We need to start a petition to end the VA Disruptive Behavior Committee. Hey, I am 100% on board. 100%. Um, uh, yeah, Rep Collins, well, Doug Collins, he's former representative. Uh, he, yeah, I think he's doing good work over there at the VA. Here's one thing about this petition, though. This petition. Uh, so we have 142 shares. Now I've got 800 people who signed it, and I thank you all who have signed it. But yeah, if you could share it, and look at that, Change.org has promoted it 12 times already. So can we get it shared more? Can you guys share it a little bit more? Let's get this strength rating up because I think this is veterans' Second Amendment rights is very important, very important. And a bureaucrat at the VA should not be making the decision about whether or not I or AVA can have a gun. They should not be making that decision. This bill that's in Congress that this petition is set for everyone to sign. This bill says that you cannot deny a veteran their gun rights unless it goes in front of a judge. If the VA thinks that someone is a threat, let them argue that in front of a judge. A judge should be the only person who can deny you your constitutional rights. That why this is debating is so stupid. That's the way it should be. Everyone needs to sign that petition. The VA took they took your rights and the rights of many other veterans away over nonviolent stuff. Like if you can't balance your checkbook and you say, "Hey, can I get a caregiver?" And why would a veteran not be able to balance their checkbook? Maybe they got TBI and they can't remember stuff. So giving them a caregiver just to make sure that they're balancing their accounts, that doesn't make them violent. Why are you going to deny them their Second Amendment right? That is a right. It's ridiculous. Good morning, Seagirl. That's one thing about us Americans. We have fought for our rights, and we hold our rights sacred. Our rights are not given to us by the government. The Constitution, all those amendments are rights that the government cannot take away. And this is the government trying to take away those rights. A bureaucrat, an unelected bureaucrat. If if you want to get rid of the Second Amendment and you want to vote in a bunch of politicians to do that, hey, good luck. Good luck. That's the process. But this end around that they keep doing, no, that's bullshit. They want to avoid the debate because they're going to lose the debate. Hey, Native, I was just checking the. We've got 800 signatures on the petition so far. So make sure you sign it and share it. Go on to Facebook groups. Share it to various Facebook groups if that group allows you to share stuff like that. I do appreciate it. And yeah, we have this. It's going to go to the U.S. Senate and U.S. House. I'm just looking. So yeah, a lot of people have found it through Facebook. I shared it to a lot of groups on Facebook. So I appreciate all the people who've signed it and who've done it. Yeah, some of you guys, wow, some of you guys who promoted it and shared it, like, wow, Timothy Boylan shared it, and it got us 13 signatures and 182 views. I'm looking. There's a lot of anonymous people who've signed. Oh, my friend Shannon, she shared it. She got 331 views and 18 signatures. That's how these things work. Hey, good morning, Heroes Chris. Good morning. Trump is in the UAE. I do want to pull up some stuff on that. Let's see. I'm looking see if they have a gallery of pictures. Not with ABC News. Because they were showing it on the news, and where they were at yesterday was where I used to live. Oh, well, here's one. This is the New York Times, who's always ridiculous. So I've been to this mosque. This is the Mosque to Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, MBZ, as we called him. He was the leader who took UAE into independence in, I think, 1972, and led the country all the way up until the early 2000s. And then he passed away, and his son took over. His son has since passed. His son had a lot of health problems. Yeah, that's MBZ right there. Al Alaid Air Force Base. I've been out there. Um, Um, this is the palace. So they were. I'm pretty sure this is the palace. They were building that when I was out there. That's Bahrain. They had done some stuff like this when we arrived as the Marines. They had everybody lined up, and they did the thing with their swords. Very cool. I don't see any pictures of him with Sheikh Maktoum. Um, oh, that's Qatar Zamir. Doha. That's where I looks like I'll be going. I got some business contacts out there, so that's it's all pretty cool. The Arabs, they do things very impressively, so I'm sure it was a great trip for the president. Um, yeah, they like doing things very cool. So, oh, here's one thing I want to show. This is where Hollywood gets shit always confused. Okay, without even looking, I could tell you that these guys were most likely Saudis because of the headdress that they wear. Yeah, Saudis, right there. And King Khalid, Prince Mohammed. Okay. Yep, Saudi officials. And yep, this is likely Qatar because they wear more the white, or it could be Saudi. I see this guy with this the more traditional Saudi headdress. Um, so that could be Doha. Doha, yeah. Because the Emiratis, where is it at here? So the Emiratis do this. They kind of flip up the headdress, and they almost make it look like a cowboy hat. See how they don't let it hang; they roll it up into it's like those are like ropes almost. That's what they do. Yeah, rarely do they wear it down. Most of them rolled up. I'm looking for more pictures of that. Yeah, here you can see how he's got his rolled up. So it's a style thing, but it, it shows how us Americans, we think that the culture is kind of the same across the board. It's really not. It's much like here. Certain areas of this country are very different. The South is very different than LA. Oh, I see fun laughters over at over on Rumble. Good morning. Oh, okay. Your thing did pop up here. I just missed it. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's the type of stuff I've been looking up. Um, I've got a couple tweets that are just going crazy right now. Like one is gonna hit 100,000 impressions. It is. Oh yes, I am on Stupid Dave's hit list. Don't care. Like Stupid Dave. Actually, here, let me pull that up. Let me find it here. Oh, I do want to show this one too. Here, we know who this one was. Yeah, I'll show like some of these people. It's like you just look dumb. Where's it at here? I know. Oh, there we go. I knew. I knew. Could remember who sent it to me. All right. So let me open. Open it. Don't. Don't ask me if I want to open it. Just open it. Actually, here, let me do this. Oh no. Here, I'll do the full screen as much as I can. Um, Let me. Help needed. Okay, now, right off the bat, that proves to me that they don't have an attorney. First off, we know that Stupid Dave is avoiding being served. But the fact that he's saying help needed, a lawyer would not tell him to do this. A lawyer would say, "No, go talk to people. Don't make public posts about this." Um, so Stupid Dave does not have an attorney. He just showed his hand. This is a tell. It appears the ball has been set in motion to hold these harassers in the Pro Hales camp accountable. No, it hasn't. They're desperate. They want people to be scared. Um, I can't speak on much more, but help is needed. Yeah, no, your lawyer would not be advising you to do this. Certain people need proof of the live CPS call made on live stream to CPS by Veteran Nation. Now, here's where, there's going to be people who do live streams and hate about me because I'm going to mention them. Squid Pro Quo stating that Stupid Dave's body will not be found in the Wisconsin woods due to the family she has in said state. This was also said on a Veteran Nation stream. That's not what was said. But you do you. Go find, dude. Go find it then. No one's going to give it to you. All DJ Radis content that crosses the line from parody to harassment. What crosses the line? Do you know the rules? What crosses the line of parody into harassment? I will say this about DJ Radis, and he's done things on me. Those songs are absolute parody. And that's the Supreme Court, Falwell v. Hustler. That's some of the strongest protections to the First Amendment is parody. So good luck with that. All DJ Radis content that crosses the line from parody to harassment. Not sure. If not sure, send anyways. His entire channel has also been submitted. Yeah, no one's gonna go with your whole with the whole channel. No lawyer will do that. Any streams that can connect these people to major Pro Hales YouTubers. How is a stream going to connect somebody? Like you guys are connected because you've talked about how you guys had an email group, and then your attorney talked about the anti what the hell's ecosystem. That's a link. If anyone I speak with, just because I speak with them doesn't mean that it's anything, anything bigger than what it is. I'm trying to. There we go. We'll do it this way. Any threats from any streamer directed at Lisa Lee, Ray Bonecrusher, Tori, Stupid Dave, or any other content. I haven't seen anybody make threats. Like saying that if someone says I'm gonna take you to court, that's not a threat. It's not a threat. I have made police reports about Lisa. I've made police reports about what's his name, Gator Boy, Robbie. I've made police reports about them. I've never made any threats about them, but I have a documented list of them harassing me and threatening me. So, hey, Stupid Dave, you want to play this game? Go right ahead. And yeah, his email's up there. He posted it publicly. I'm just sharing his public post. So before anyone comes at me over that, he shared this publicly. He wants people to reach out to him. I'm just amplifying the voice and the message that he wanted out there. There you go. So before anyone complains, says I doxed him, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Uh, and then I want to show this here. Such brave individuals out there. Here, let me put this one. So that was the post that I made the day of where they had to be in court, and Bruce didn't show. I did that just to get people talking. I knew it was going to cause a shit stir. I was trolling, and yeah, Spawn Trooper is posting this anonymously. That's Spawn Trooper. He posted this on his show the other day. Like he put that on his show. So yeah, that is Scott M. Taylor of Southampton, UK, posting anonymously. What a coward! What a coward! But there you go. Now you guys know. He thinks posting that stuff is going to intimidate me. It's not. Like, oh, you're not going to like this stream. I thought the stream was great. I thought it was hilarious. Mimi Speaks Truth, that was your dad? Who is your dad? Um, and people send me some funny stuff. Stuff I can't show. I'm not going to get the channel taken down. See, this is why I know a lot of you guys in the chat, you want me to react and you send me stuff. I try not to do it live online because some of that stuff is, it it's not ready for air. The Fleas made a press release. I believe the newest Discord. No one's going to pick up that press release. Oh, Mimi, you're the one who called. Okay. I do appreciate giving the feedback. I'm glad that his nursing stay is covered. Um, let's is he 100% VA disabled now? Because let's keep up with that. Because yeah, we want you guys should have some money coming in. Your dad served and has injuries that the VA, I guarantee it, should be responsible for. There's a local joke in my local group. Someone We have a lot of meth heads, and we call them tweakers. And someone was mad about all the tweakers, and they posted a thing, but they autocorrect called them the tweezers, and now it's a running joke here locally that be like, oh yeah, that person's a tweezer, and yeah, and we had this woman. She was calling everyone racists, not racists, raciest, RACIEST. And what's hilarious about that is people started pointing out in her profile, like in her Facebook profile, it said "fuck white people," but we're the racists. So dumb. Some people are just so dumb. Uh, Someone has acknowledged that they've been served. Well, I know that Stupid Dave is avoiding it, and they were all talking about it. Uh, which person was that? On the day they acknowledged that they had been served. Is that John Lynette? Exactly. We should not be fighting the VA for anything. The VA should be fighting for us. Our healthcare should be coming from Health and Human Services, and the VA should be our advocate. That when Health and Human Services doesn't give us the proper healthcare, we're going to the VA to say, "Hey, fix this." The VA should not be giving us our GI Bill money. That should be the Department of Education. The VA is trying to do everybody else's job. Stop it. The VA is the biggest health insurer in the United States, and it's also it is the lowest rated if when they ask its customers to rate them. It is the lowest rated. Oh, people are talking about side stuff in the group. Hey, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'm not gonna take the full minute. I'll be right back. But I'll put on the music for like 30 seconds for you.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on.
Sorry about that. Had to get my coffee. Had to get my coffee refill. Sorry if that was too loud for you guys too. I didn't. When I put on my thing, I was like, "Ooh, is that too loud?" I got VetTix sending me stuff. If you're a veteran, you should sign up for VetTix. If you know a veteran, you should have them sign up for VetTix and take you to a show or a concert. You'll take a cup of coffee? Yep, I got this when I was in the UK. Not everybody in the UK is an asshole. Just a select few. Like Greg of Scotland. Me and my brother, we do want to take a trip to Scotland. My brother is dragging his feet about getting his passport. That's what's holding us up. I'm like, dude, let's just get your passport. We'll just go into Scotland. We want to. There's a couple things we want to see, but we really want to go to a couple. We want to go to a couple distilleries and castles. Um, what else is in the news? The new the new Marvel show Ironheart's going to come out in July. That thing looks like a complete and total piece of shit. Like there's nothing that looks good at all. There's 14 Republicans in the House trying to stop the big beautiful bill, and Trump is calling them out. Right, right, Greg. I have to laugh. There's a picture, and it says how Americans look at the British, and it's all these men in like three-piece suits and standing around a boardroom, and it says how the rest of the world looks at the British, and it's a dude face down in the gutter, drunk as shit, probably at like what's the place in Portugal, if, Lisbon, which I think that's where Gary lives. Is Gary watching this morning? I haven't seen him, but I think he lives there. What I do want to take Veteran Nation National. I want to go to some historic sites and stuff, and do videos from them. So that is part of my plan. Mama Coop, you want to go? You want to go to Scotland? We could do a trip. We can do a group trip. We were talking with the Huffs, and I did see the Huffs in here. Which good morning, Larry and Sansi. We were talking about doing the veteran cruise. I'm up for that. Zelensky on call with Trump. Ukraine is ready for quick steps for peace. Yeah, they've lost. That war is over. That war is over. Like you lost. You're not getting the land back. Uh, yeah, Comey tweeted that stuff out. What an idiot. Just stupid. Some of these people that hate Trump, you just need to get past it. You just need to move on. Every the more TDS you have and the more like ingrained you get, you look like you're trying to hurt the country and no one cares about your little beefs. Edinburgh is the hotspot with its history and haunted past. I actually have a very good friend of mine who lives in Edinburgh. I love talking with him. He works at a convenience store, and, and he gets people who come in, and he'll send me the footage from the camera, and it's hilarious. I understand, Mama Coop, you guys aren't best, but I'm just saying, like, those are some of the trips we've talked about doing, and I think it'll be fun when we start doing some of this stuff. Um, Tiffany Trump had her baby. That she's my Trump crush, Tiffany Trump. She's taken, I know, but she's still my Trump crush. Uh, no, Kat, we don't want you. You're just going to cause problems. This cat has been just causing me problems all week. Oh, absolutely, Mama Coop. And here's the thing about the veteran cruise. While it's free for veterans, we can take people at a discounted rate. They just need to leave Medicare and Medicaid alone. Medicare, um, okay, Medicare is the one I think they need to absolutely revamp. Medicaid, I get. You got to understand, like, they need to stop doing a lot of these set pricing, because when you set the price on like drugs for Medicare, that's now the new bottom. It's no longer zero. So they then negotiate up. Um, uh, yeah, last time I was in the UK, I went to Warwick Castle and I wanted to see the oubliette, but the dungeon tour was a haunted dungeon tour, so I didn't get to see the oubliette. I want to see how small it is. Apparently, it's like this big. It's just a hole, and they would just throw people in the hole and forget about them. And oubliette is it's a derivation of the French words for the forgotten. And they would just throw you down there and kind of forget about you. Maybe you would get some food thrown down, maybe not. Federal judge took over Rikers because they were doing unconstitutional stuff. Uh-huh. Tim Walters says, "Hey Skipper, my wife and I are having our 41st anniversary on the 19th of May. Well, congratulations. It's definitely something to celebrate. 41 years. That's something. People don't stay married nowadays. This year's my parents' 50th. Medicare needs to add dental for adults. Hmm. I can see emergency dental, like pain, but if we're talking cavities, nah. Not okay. Not all of the oubliettes had spikes at the bottom. There's one in Ireland. I've actually, this has been a point of interest for me. I've looked into this. There's one in Ireland that had a lot of spikes, but not every one. Oh, here's here. I'll share this. That's Trump at the UAE right here.
Being killed in a war that is going nowhere.
See how they flip up the.
It's a shame.
I'll turn that off. See how they flip up Some people really flip it up, and it curls and almost looks like a cowboy hat. But whenever you see that, it's pretty much always the UAE. NHS used to have the best healthcare. Well, at least you guys aren't Canada. Canada, yeah, their healthcare system sucks. I was talking to someone who is Canadian, has cancer, because we get a lot of people, a lot of Canadians from like Alberta and British Columbia come down to the Palm Springs area, and they come down here. And the one guy, he was fighting cancer. He was like, "Yeah, they gave me like it's treatable cancer, but they wouldn't give me an appointment for 6 months." So he's like, "Fine," and he just bought a place down in Palm Springs. He was like, "I'll just go down to Palm Springs for all my doctor's appointments," and that's what he does. He goes into he crosses the border up in Washington, goes into Bellingham, and they have cheap flights from Bellingham, Washington, into Palm Springs, and that's what he does. You, oh, okay, Rogue Mama. I will be doing this. I'll be doing this for probably about another 5-10 minutes. These workers are supposed to be arriving to install my mini splits, and I'll get off then. But I will be around, and they just need access to everything. Like they need to be able to come into the house and stuff like that. So I will be available. Um, do you realize how bad teeth can affect your health? Can't chew properly, even affects your heart. Well, if it's absolutely needed care, I got it. But there are going to be, if it's just blanket dental care, there are people who are going to take advantage of that, and that's the problem. Too many people are taking advantage of the government. Good morning, Marianne. Now, people being in pain, yeah, people should not be in pain. I am now to the point now that I'm 100%. I do now get dental from the VA, and again, that's why the the government incentivizes people to put in VA claims, and guess what? You get false claims when you do that. Now, I would have no problem if they said once you hit like 30%, you can get dental from the VA, but you have to pay for it. Like, and if it's you know, less than what your normal dental is, great. I'll tell you right now, the biggest predatory thing that the VA does is they do term life insurance. That is a complete and total scam. The VGLI, it's a scam. Do not buy into the VGLI. You can get life insurance, a better plan, cheaper, out in town. Uh, when I was in the hospital last year, there was an American. He said he didn't want to leave the hospital because it wasn't costing him anything to be there. Uh, that I can believe in your guys's. But yeah, there's a lot of veterans. Well, not veterans, but a lot of Americans who, yeah, they pay a lot of money. Um, but a lot of that is the way the government has set things up. They've given these health insurance companies every incentive to charge people. Uh, it used to be in this country, all the hospitals were run by two groups: your governments and your churches. There used to, it would be like back home we had Saint Mercy, Saint Vincent, and then the Toledo Hospital. So, Toledo Hospital was local government who ran that. Actually, I think it was the county at the time. And then St. V's and Mercy, those were run by Catholic Charities. No longer is that true. Those are all owned by insurance companies nowadays. So your local governments have gotten out of the, for the most part, gotten out of the health insurance. And that's not even like where the most money comes. The most money with health insurers comes to the doctors. Like that's why doctors, when they go and work for hospitals and don't have their own practice, it's favorable because they're covered by the hospital's insurance. Whereas if they have their own practice, they have to pay for their own insurance, and it's expensive as hell to those doctors. Forget what we would pay. It's really what the doctors pay, and a lot of that comes to malpractice insurance. So it's pretty ridiculous. The VA, all the VA hospitals should be taken over by DHS, and then uh, people who are on Medicare, Medicaid, and veterans should all be able to go to those hospitals for very cheap or even free care. But you notice that's not what the government's trying to do. They're trying to keep veterans dependent upon a broken system. It's one thing if you're on Medicare, Medicaid, you know, fine. That should not be. It shouldn't be the Cadillac of hospitals. It should be no. We'll treat you, but we'll treat you cost effectively. And if you want that Cadillac care, that's where you do have to pay. Like for me, there are things that the VA will pay for, but there's also things that if I don't want to deal with the VA's bullshit, I will have to pay a health insurer to go get that stuff. All vets should get free. I mean, yeah, I can. Right now, you get free healthcare if you're 50% disabled. You can go to the VA for healthcare if you're 30%. It's been a while since I've looked at those numbers, but yeah. Or if you're 0% and it's something that was service related, you can go to the VA for that. But if it's something that they haven't deemed service related, you can't. But yeah, like Health and Human Services, why are they not taking over these VA hospitals? Like these VA hospitals can't keep up. I, as a veteran, should just be given a voucher every year. And yeah, you can get a private health insurer, or you can get the government's free health care, and let me decide what best works for me. And then if I go to Health and Human Services, or even if I go to a private insurer and I have problems, I should be able to go to the VA and be like, hey, they're not doing this for me. And then the VA advocates for me. Instead, I have to fight the VA for everything. It's a messed up system. Getting any dentistry done is expensive for seniors if you don't have a plan. Yeah, if you don't have a plan. But there is some supplemental insurance that does cover dental. The VA is trying everything they can not to give surgery for my shoulder. They are trying to hide the fact that their fault. I got hurt. Absolutely, and that's what you deal with. You really don't want that. If you feel the VA issues now, just imagine if they double or triple the patients. Well, it wouldn't be the VA. It would be Health and Human Services. The VA would be my advocate. So it wouldn't be me fighting on my own. I would have the VA fighting alongside me. And, there's just like community care, I should have a voucher. And hey, if I don't want to go to the hospital, and mine is literally 100 miles away. Like if I don't want to go to that hospital, I should be able to say, no, I want to go locally. And here's my voucher. And I should be able to do that. And that is what I have through community care. Now, I will absolutely. People are like, "Oh, you're just down on Democrats." No, President Obama created community care. He created it. It was a great. Well, it is a great thing. One of the best things the VA has come up with in decades. Trump expanded it though. So Obama created community care, but you kind of had to fight to get into it. And then Trump passed the Mission Act, and now if they can't get you within 30 days into an appointment, you can be like, okay, put me into community care. And they can't fight you anymore on community care. It's like, okay. And that has worked to take down so many of those wait times is, okay, well, you can go to another doctor now. So I'm in community care and it's amazing. Sorry if you're disabled or not, vets should get free. They put their lives on the line for freedom. Emergency services should be free. Emergency services are always free for me. Even if I were still in the VA system, I could go to my local emergency room. I don't have a problem. Where it becomes an issue is I have to call them if I'm going to go to like Emergicare. That's where it becomes. Emergicare is like a private place where they'll do things that like stitches and your Band-Aid stuff. So then the emergency rooms are not overcrowded. And the insurance companies prefer you to go to Emergicare and places like that because it's normally cheaper. Because there's normally like one, maybe two doctors on staff. It's primarily nurses. I had to fight for community care. VA is okay with doctors. Oh, yeah, yeah. You find that in a lot of systems. But that's the good thing about the Mission Act. Once you start really making a big deal, the Congress is like, put that guy in community care. The problem is, community care, sometimes there are things that they can't do. Like my whole thing with my glasses. I don't have my glasses on the thing here. I still have to go to the VA for my glasses, and it's bullshit. It took my husband 35 years to finally get the help he needed. We moved to Iowa. I don't know about other vets in Iowa, but it's getting everything. And that's why you guys should support people like Katie. Katie, who we had on the show on Sunday. I actually pushed out a YouTube short yesterday. She is fighting that VA in Omaha. And I am happy to help her with that fight. Our traditional medical system, in my view, went downhill with the ACA when it was enacted. Yeah, that was Obamacare. And yeah, it did go downhill because that was just, they were trying to do universal health care. It'll never work in the US because you'd be replacing like a $72 billion industry, and no way can the government make that up. And it might even be more than that. It might be like a lot more. That was the number I do remember from, what was that, 13 years ago. And yeah, it ended up being just more of a handout to health insurance companies. But, well, actually, these guys are not here yet. I'm going to keep streaming. They said they were going to be here at 7:30. They're not here. Maybe I can go until Coop and Georgie. We'll see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just saw your thing. We can do that. We can do that, Rogue Mama. I just saw your message. Yeah, let's talk about that. Uh, Sorry, the government does not care about our vets, let alone our seniors or children, unless you are rich. Um, they they give a lot of lip service, and it's both parties. So people who are like, "Oh, it's the Republicans that don't care," or "Oh, it's the Democrats," no, they both fuck us over. Both parties fuck us over um, in different ways, absolutely in different ways. Uh, Republicans are normally about reducing the system. Democrats are about expanding the system, but in both of those, they both screw us over in different ways. But Trump has been very good to us, very good to us. And all these people don't start sending me stuff saying, "Oh, look, Trump isn't good to you. Look what he did here." Everything you've sent me, I've seen before, and it's most of the time it's bullshit. It's like when those people were saying Trump's cutting your services 2 months ago. Zero VA services have been cut. People got fired. They absolutely got fired, but zero services have been cut. And I don't give a shit about keeping shitty people in jobs. If you're not doing your job, you deserve to be fired. And they hired 80,000 employees in the Biden administration, and nothing got better. Nothing got better. It seems that each regional VA is drastically different in service. Oh, at 100%, one vet firefighter, each one is different from the other. So people who come in here and say, "Well, my VA healthcare is great," good on you. Good on you. I'm happy. I'm happy for you. But guess what? For other people, they have shitty healthcare. So don't act like I shouldn't be fighting for those people. Like, if yours is great, good on you. But I'm going to fight to have the VA revamped because, like, the numbers tell you. When you ask veterans, how good is your health care, and you have, like, 75% saying it's shit, don't come at me and tell me how great yours is, because most people have a bad one. Good on you for having a good one. Most people have a bad one. Government gave too much power to Big Pharma. It's not just Big Pharma. It's the health insurers across the board. Big Pharma is just one part of it. But yeah, like the insurers who run the hospitals and who insure the doctors, I'm not talking, everyone focuses on the insurance that we have to pay. No, that's why when you go to a hospital, it'll be $10,000+ for like a pint of blood. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Uh huh. Grey's Anatomy. Why are they doing news stories about Grey's Anatomy? It's stupid. Uh huh. Federal Judge Matthew Kaczmarek rules that the 1964 Civil Rights Act does not mandate employers to use an employee's preferred pronouns or allow access to restrooms or locker rooms based on gender identity. Well, of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. It's not. It doesn't say that. Like, all these people are like, because gender is protected in the 14th Amendment, trying to tell me that promote that it protects trans people. No, it does not. It doesn't say that at all. It actually protects biological gender. That's why we have Title IX. Uh huh. Talking about the Karen Reed case. Zelensky's upset. He's got to come to the table. Don't care. Without the ACA, I would not be able to have health insurance. Um, the government, though, that was a handout to health insurance companies, and pretending that it isn't is just being dishonest. That's 100% what it was. Most people experience their health care going up with the ACA. Kash Patel announced the FBI will be leaving the J. Edgar Hoover building. Okay. They're gonna relieve some sanctions on Syria. I'm okay with that. Syria is starting to calm down. Defense team for illegal alien Raul Benitez Santana moves to dismiss charges, claiming prosecutors violated Washington sanctuary laws by working with ICE. Benitez Santana, accused of drunk driving, caused a crash that killed a Washington state trooper. No, you don't get immunity. Sorry. See, that's the problem with a lot of this. There's just too many. The legal immigration got way too out of control, and any illegal immigrants do not fall within the written rules of refugee status. So sorry, you got to go. I don't have an issue with the ACA. It was just done wrong, in my opinion. It was done wrong, and that's why it's a bad bill. They were under such pressure to pass something that's how we got a bad bill, and that's because they wouldn't compromise. The Democrats wouldn't compromise. Um, there were Republicans who were willing to compromise on various things, but that's what happens. They they had all three houses, and that's that's what they did with it. And yeah, like there's a reason why the founding fathers wanted to build a system that would not work unless people compromised. But Obamacare saved healthcare. That's what I say to Democrats when they're like, "Oh, we need to fix healthcare." I'm like, "No, no, Obama. You told us Obamacare saved it, so it saved it. It's fixed. Don't give me any bullshit. Because if not, then you have to admit that it was a failure." Sean Diddy Combs, don't care. The guy is a piece of crap. He did call the hit on Tupac. I don't doubt that for a second, but I also don't care because Tupac was a piece of shit. Uh-huh. Snoop Dogg fires back at critics, calling him a sellout after Trump inauguration performance. Skipper, what do you think about some Republicans that want Trump to pardon the guy that killed Floyd? I mean, again, that was a trial, had a lot of problems. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been convicted. I don't think he shouldn't have been convicted for what he was convicted of. Uh, to deny that George Floyd had fentanyl in his system is dishonest, but a lot of these chokeholds that the cops were using, I'm seeing where they're using them less. Yeah, that was bullshit as well. So that's my take on it. I wasn't like one of these people who was like big into one camp or another. The big problem was when the riots were happening that they did not prosecute any of those individuals. And I would love to see the DOJ reopen those cases and say, no, we're gonna for people that were burning down buildings. Yeah, we're gonna arrest and uh, prosecute those people federally. That's what I think should happen. Suspected serial killer was scrutinized for a possible link to the O.J. Simpson case. Was executed Thursday in Florida for the murder of a woman found dead in a motel room. Yeah, I don't think he had any connection to O.J. Uh-huh. Dr. Casey Means recently suggested people consider using unproven psychedelic drugs as therapy and said her use of mushrooms helped her find love at the age of 35. Are we taking mushrooms to find love? Because that's bullshit. Like, I do know people who take some psychedelic drugs for, PTSD and stuff. And hey, if it works, it's not stupid. If it looks stupid but works, it's not stupid. We should study that stuff. Absolutely, on board with that. Let's find out what works. But we should not be taking psychedelic drugs to find love. No. 50-year-old Larsa Pippen, don't know who that is, said dating her son's former teammate Malik Beasley was a mistake. I don't know who any of these people are. Tupac was a genius. I think Diddy and Suge Knight killed Pac, and Diddy killed Suge and Pac. Diddy killed Biggie. I wouldn't be surprised at all that, but Tupac was also a piece of shit. Uh, ba, ba, ba. I'm just looking through the news here. Attacks come as Israel enters its third month of blockading Gaza, preventing food, medicine, and all other supplies from entering. Well, Hamas, uh, we had a roadmap for peace. It was a 2003 or 2004. Hamas abandoned it. Hamas is the one who does not want peace. They need to come to the table for peace. Pure and simple. Israel has signed peace agreements with Jordan, with Egypt, people that they once fought. Like, Israel will sign peace agreements. As a Minnesotan, the only way Floyd should be pardoned is if the whole case is really looked at. Floyd also had other incidents on his record. He did. But let's face facts, though. George Floyd, like, people putting him on murals and stuff, that dude was a piece of shit. And he died primarily of a fentanyl overdose. I'm going to send a go. Yeah, the officers were not clean either, and that's the big problem, Joan. That's the big problem. We should expect our police officers to be above board. The fact that there is a thing called the Brady List, which is cops who've lied under oath in the past, they're still allowed to be cops. They just can't testify. That is complete and total bullshit. And you're seeing this level of corruption in the Karen Reed case. Like, we should not be standing for this. And the fact that that judge is allowing uh, the prosecutor to just kind of gloss over all this shit, that's a miscarriage of justice. It absolutely is. It's my take on Austin Carmelo Anthony case and all the money. Here's the thing: the family's blowing the money. It's not going to his defense; they're blowing the money. So probably better off blowing the money on houses and cars. Good on them. Like if people are that stupid to give him that type of money, it's not going to his defense. It's not. He is going to be in jail. He is for his. You have to meet civil rights defense. This is what people don't understand about civil or not a civil rights defense, but a self defense. There are elements to self defense. They vary throughout the country, and there is it's 5 or 6 elements of self defense, and you have to meet a majority of them. I think he only meets 2, so I do not think. I don't think he's going to have a successful self defense claim. Uh, I think he's going to take a plea bargain. He'll try to plead it down to manslaughter. I don't know if he'll get manslaughter. I don't know if the DA will accept that. Some DAs suck. Some DAs suck. So I just don't know enough about that DA. The guy, the loudmouth for him is a convicted felon in his past. The first thing about self-defense is you can't be the one that started the fight. And there's people who say, "Oh no, he didn't start the fight. He didn't throw the first punch." That's not it. It's did you start the argument? Let's take my case. There are people who've tried to blame me in the attack I had, but I didn't even know Hal Sellers was there. You watch the video, he comes up behind me. I didn't even know he was in the vehicle. So I had a clear self-defense claim, and the DA acknowledged that. The only reason the DA wouldn't prosecute was because he said, "Well, you kicked his ass. You should be thankful, happy with that." And I was like, "No, I'm not, because he could do something else to me at any point. That's why I am going for a restraining order." And long story short, from court, I'll tell you guys the details. It was we went to court. It was being put in front of the commissioner who handles my divorce. Now, he was given that evidence, and he was taking, because in divorce court there's a lower standard of proof, so he was taking my ex's side on everything because based of the lies that she told, and she was saying that I was saying certain things to cause a problem, which is completely untrue. We were never, she pulled her restraining order before anything was ever adjudicated. So that's, my evidence has never been fully put in front of the judge. But because the judge did say something, there was some bias, and he was the one who was supposed to do my restraining order. But he's a commissioner, and in civil court, there's a higher standard of proof. So I have to meet a higher standard of proof than what she did to get a restraining order. So we had gone into the court, and she brought her initial divorce lawyer, who was the dude's he's just a prick. You know, like a guy who he believes that by saying negative shit about me in court, he'll get me to spout off. Um, Again, I'm very thankful that I have PTSD and that I've been in therapy. I have control of my emotions, unlike other YouTubers. Uh, so I've never reacted to anything. He's just an ass. And I knew he argues in front of that commissioner all the time. And I knew he was going to try, because lawyers do backroom deals all the fucking time. Our judicial system is in bad need of reform because it does have lots of corruption. I've seen lawyers make deals about stuff that really doesn't pertain to the case. Like, oh, well, you give me a slide on this one, and I'll give you a slide on this other case. It's that bad. So um, we had gone into the courtroom, and they were all smug and all ready, like, oh, yeah, this judge is going to toss this up. Well, the bailiff came to me and he's like, here, Mr. Arthur, I need you to sign this. And I'm like, what is this? And he goes, oh, this is a stipulation. It's so that, because the commissioner's not officially a judge. You have to sign to make sure him to take the case. And I was like, I don't want to sign this. And he goes, well, if you don't sign it, the case is going to be reassigned to a judge, and it'll probably be up in Barstow or down in San Bernardino, and you'll have to drive an hour. And I go, oh yeah, that's fine by me. Yeah, I'd prefer that. So I handed it back to him, and her lawyer was like, because people don't ever not sign the stipulation. They're just like, okay, yeah, I'll sign it, and then the commission will get on with this case. I was perfectly willing for, because I didn't want it in front of that judge or that commissioner because of what he's said about the evidence. So I did not, much like Jeremy with Grudge Judge, I did not have a belief that my evidence would be treated fairly, I guess I'll say, or looked at with all due deference. So it was then reassigned to Judge Rodriguez. And that's what I wanted. I wanted it in front of a real judge, not a commissioner. And her attorney, her former attorney, his current attorney, went to the bailiff and was like, "Where's Judge Rodriguez?" And he told him what courtroom. They got out of there, and he was trying to go in for ex parte communication, which is completely illegal. And I went to the bailiff and I was like, "Okay, so what happens now?" And he's like, "Well, it's been." The commissioner assigned it to Judge Rodriguez. It's up to Judge Rodriguez if she's going to take the case. It'll probably be heard at 4:00 today. So, okay. So we're out there, we're sitting, and I did have to laugh because he didn't get in to have ex parte communications. She was not going to bring him in to talk to him. But he was talking with another attorney, and that attorney was very loud. And I had to laugh because that attorney was like, "Oh yeah, you've been in and argued in front of her before." And then he, and I'm looking over and I'm like this is clearly an attorney who wants to embarrass him. And the next thing he goes, "Oh yeah, stop with that." He goes, "You were in there last time we were in there together. You insulted her." And I'm like, "Oh my god, this is perfect." So they thought they were going to be in front of a friendly judge, and no, they weren't. It wasn't going to be an unfriendly judge. I just wanted a judge that will call balls and strikes as they see it. So we went in front of Judge Rodriguez. They were not ready. They said that they're going to have discovery and witnesses for a restraining order. Okay, bring your discovery, bring your witnesses. I got the video. There was an attack. He's still coming within my vicinity. In fact, even after the hearing, he came in my vicinity again. He showed up to my kids' events again. So I took pictures of it. I have evidence. I just don't want this guy around me. He is not healthy. And that was what happened at court. We come back. We've got a hearing in August. So I'll come back in August with my evidence. And I'm confident. A judge doesn't want any hint of violence or anything. So I'm confident I will get my my restraining order when it's all said and done. I'm going to set up. I'm going to set up a redirect to Georgie and Coop because they're about ready to start. There we go. And that way you guys won't miss anything. I might join them. I just got to figure out. Oh, that's setting it live stream. Is it? Okay. There we go. So I've got it set up for Georgie and Coop. I might join them. Oh, hey, I got to let you guys go. I got these workers calling me. All right. As always, thank you for being.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.